In my continual quest to help find the best neighborhood for you, today I'm going to share with you 3 things about a lovely, quiet community, an intimate, smaller community called the Hammocks. So here are 3 things I want to share with you. Number 1, the location. Okay, so where is the Hammocks? The Hammocks is right off of Bee Ridge Road, which is a main road here in Sarasota. There's an exit right there from 75, but it's out farther east, all the way up to Lorraine Road. Lorraine is on the east side of this community. Now there is a Publix out there, so it's not crazy remote at all, but it is kind of quiet in a good way, remote in a nice way. But if you say, Jill, come on, I gotta do stuff, I've got a life here, well, that's okay. Hop on Bee Ridge Road, head west, you're gonna hit more shops, restaurants, direct shot out to the beaches, downtown Sarasota. So it's all right there, or not too far away at least. And right now Lorraine Road ends at Palmer, but I do believe they're going to cut it all the way through up to University. So you'll be all the way up to Lakewood Ranch. So you can zip north eventually without getting on I-75. But right now then you hop on I-75 if you want, or you can pick up Honore, Cattleman if you want to go north or south from this community. So it is a nice location, not too remote, but a little bit more quiet for sure. Number 2, the features. Now I'm going to break down the features between the homes themselves and then the community. So first, let's talk about the houses. There are about 192 or so homes, just under 200. So again, a nice size community. And all of these homes were built after the year 2000. So from like 2000 to 2007-ish. And then after that, there were a handful of homes built here and there all the way up to about 2017. So there must have just been some different lots people were holding on to. I'm not sure how this community was initially built, because it's kind of odd that that's the case, but nonetheless, it's the truth. I mean, at least according to the county tax records. And there were actually 3 builders in there. John Cannon, who's well-known, local, or at least regional, I'm not sure how far out they go, builder, so high-end luxury. Pruitt Builders, which again is a really nice builder. In fact, I know the Pruitts a long time ago, back in the 90s, early 2000s. We actually went to the same church, and so Brian Pruitt is a really great guy. And then also Tivoli was the other builder. So 3 builders in there. So again, that's why I think it's a little interesting for such a small community that there were 3 different builders, but nonetheless, that's what they did. Now, the size of the homes really vary between 2,400 and 4,600 square feet. So a little bit smaller, not tiny, but smaller, and then quite larger. And there's actually one that was like around 5,600 square feet. So there was one that's quite large that's in there. And then the lot sizes range between 12,000 and 19,000 square feet. Now people will say to me, Jill, I don't know what you're talking about when you say it like that. I'm used to talking about an acreage. So the 12,000 is around a quarter of an acre, and then the 19,000 is close to a half an acre. There's a few lots that are a little bit larger, so you might even find something that's truly a half an acre or more. So nice size properties for sure in terms of the lots. Okay, swimming pools. There is no community swimming pool, but by golly, it looks like almost every home in that neighborhood has their own swimming pool. So that's really nice. There was a couple I found for sure that don't, and I'm not sure what the percentages or the exact numbers that don't, but they're, like I said, most of the homes have a swimming pool. So if that's important to you, then there's a good chance you're going to find a house in there that you like with the pool. Garages. Okay, storage space is at a premium here in Florida because we have no basements and our attics are super hot. So many of the homes do have a 3-car garage. You'll see in the videos there's still some with just 2 cars or that accommodate 2 cars, but it's lovely having the 3-car garage, whether you have 3 vehicles or you need the extra storage space inside the garage. And then all of the homes have tiled roofs and pavered driveways. So that's really nice. It kind of elevates a neighborhood when you see that consistency throughout. Now, here's something to keep in mind with these homes, some of these things I just mentioned, because they're, close to 20 years, a lot of them, or older than 20 years. That means that some of the mechanical things are going to start to wear down. I would suspect that a lot of these homes already have new air conditioning systems. Of course, we're talking about updates, what it looks like on the inside may or may not be appealing to you. And then also we have to talk about these roofs, because we always talk about roofs because of insurance. So with the tile roofs, you should get a little bit more life out of them than you would with the shingle roof. So for insurance purposes, you might still be okay for a while yet with some of these homes. Something else though to keep in mind is when the day comes that you do have to replace that roof, my guess is you're gonna have to replace with the tile roof, because a lot of these neighborhoods neighborhoods that are built in this time frame or sooner, it's kind of an all or nothing. They're going to tell you you have to have a tile roof. It's not like you can switch over to a shingle or even a metal roof. So we'd have to check the bylaws, but keep that in mind with some of these neighborhoods. You have to be consistent and go by what the rules are. Oh, and one other thing that's really important, not all of these homes are going to have hurricane shutters or impact glass. Now, the ones that were built maybe after 2005, 2006 should have them. Have one of those too, but the ones from 2000, early 2000s, most likely will not have hurricane shutters or impact windows. So keep that in mind as well. If that's really important to you, then we have to be a little bit more particular about which homes you look at. Now, let's talk about the community itself. Like I said, it's a little bit smaller, kind of intimate, just under 200 homes. So I kind of like it. Not too big, not too small. First of all, it's gated. It's an electric gate. It's not a manned gate. There are sidewalks in this neighborhood. Typically, I've seen them where they're just on one side of the street or the other. They're not on both. Something else I really like about this neighborhood, there's mature trees, something about homes that were built maybe a little bit further back, or these communities that were developed a little bit further back. The builders didn't strip the whole neighborhood, with trees and foliage and all that good stuff. So there are a lot more mature trees around the properties. I really like that. It just kind of gives it a nice warm feel. Just doesn't look so bare and barren. And there's also, a number of little lakes, or really retention ponds is what they're called, but lakes sound a little bit nicer, a little fancier. So I really appreciate that about it. Something else I noticed, because I'm driving around taking video, just sticking my cell phone out the window there. People were very friendly. Now, when I walk past people, I try to pull down my phone because I don't want to freak people out that they think I'm doing something kind of sketch. But everybody's just waving. People are walking their dogs. And then when I stop to take pictures or videos of the playground, which there is a playground there. It's a little modest, but there's a playground, a little green space, which is kind of nice if maybe you want to go out there and play kickball with the kids or something like that. More official looking guy on a very official looking golf cart comes up, and I think he was just going to check out the playground, or maybe check to clean it up, which is a good thing. And so he's kind of looking at me, and I just said, "Oh, hey, good morning. I'm a real estate agent here to take some little videos and pictures of the community." And he goes, "I figured that." So anyhow, nice people. They're very much aware of what's going on, as it seemed to me. So it's a good balance. You want people, to be aware of things so you feel safe, but you don't want people to be so obnoxious and trying to be nosy in terms of what's going on, or in the neighborhood. Now, if you are looking for an investment property, or property to use some and rent out some because you think, "Oh, this sounds so nice, I could buy it, have a nice second home," well, I don't think this will be a good fit for you, because you do have to own the property for 2 years first, and then after that, 1 year minimum for rentals. So they're annual rentals, but you have to own for 2 years. Now you might think, well, why would they do that? Well, they do that to actually help minimize investors coming in, doing things that I just said. They want that nice, stable feel to that neighborhood, and I definitely felt it when I was in there. And then let's talk about flood zone. The whole area, when I looked at the flood map, is flood zone X, and that's the good one because it's the least risky one. So there's no A, there's no AE, so that's really a great thing that the whole area, the whole community is flood zone X. So that's definitely a positive. Well, let me introduce myself. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jill Thomas. I'm a real estate agent here in the Sarasota area, but I cover Sarasota, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Parrish, Northport, Venice, all of Sarasota and Manatee counties. So I've been doing this since 2008. I've lived here since 1991, so I definitely know the area, and I'm grateful to say that I know real estate. So if you've been thinking about making a move here, or maybe sadly you want to move away and sell a property, or maybe you've got to just change things up for some reason, then this might be a good channel for you to subscribe to and hit the notification bell, all those things I'm supposed to say. But really, in the end, what I want to encourage you to do is give me a call. If there's anything I can do to help you with, if you need to bounce ideas off of somebody, if you just need to ask more questions, because sometimes not everybody's figured out like what city they want to move to. They just know they're going to move to Florida, or it's between Florida and Texas or something like that. Then please reach out to me, talk to me. Sometimes people are really surprised about the questions and things that they learn when they do have that consultation with me. So use me as a resource. Call, text, email me. Please know I'm here to help you out. Okay, so we've talked about location. We've talked about the homes in the community. Now you're like, okay, Jill, what is this going to cost me? So number 3, let's talk about the prices and the carrying costs. First, let's talk HOA dues. $1,600 a year which is $133 a month. So pretty modest in terms of association dues. Now keep in mind, they're not going to do yard work or anything like that for that kind of money. They're really maintaining the overall community, all those lovely like little ponds and the little extra space, the playground. Yeah, all that has to be maintained, mowed, insurance has to be covered on all that, plus the gate out front. So that's what your money is buying you. So that's not too bad. Another really nice thing, there are no zero CDD fees, which is really, really nice, especially for a property being a little bit further out east. It's more common for there to be CDD fees, but there's none in this community. So that's really awesome too. Okay, so now let's talk about prices. What do you think these homes are going for based on maybe your just general knowledge of the area? So kind of drum roll, please. Now, actually, there's not a whole lot of turnover in this neighborhood, so there weren't a ton of recent comps. I had to go back a little bit farther just to give you a decent range. But in general, the homes go at the low end for $800,000 and at the higher end around 1.1 or so, maybe a little bit higher than that. So that's what you're looking at, around $1 million more or less. Now, there's one house right now on the market for 1.35, but is a larger house. It's one of like the 4,500, 4,600 square foot ones. So it is going to sell for more money than the other ones, but that's just the list price. So who's to say what it will sell for in the end? But anyway, that's kind of what they're going for, is around $1 million. So considering the location, it's not too far out. It's still a Sarasota mailing address, gated community, still newer homes, nice size homes, pools, nice views, decent views, and good size lots. That's pretty typical for our area for something to go for around $800, $900, $1 million. Now, of course, we do need to review what's going to really impact the price. Well, some of those things I just mentioned, the size of the home, the condition of the home, maybe if something does have hurricane shutters or impact glass, that's a big deal. That's a very expensive upgrade for sure. Most of the homes have swimming pools, so that's going to probably, just kind of keep everything on the same playing field in that regards. The condition of the home, things like that. Now, some people will update a home, but sometimes those updates are a little taste specific. I actually was in a home recently. The house was only a couple years old, but holy smoke, some of the tile and stuff they picked, it was just too much for my customers. So even if everything else was grand for them, to chip away at all of that tile that they put in, and it was backsplash stuff in the shower, it would have been really, really expensive to do. And the house was already, a good bit of money. So you just want to be careful if you are doing updates to your property and you think you're going to be selling anytime soon. Be careful with what you put in. You definitely want something that you're going to enjoy, but make sure that there's a good number of other people out there who would really enjoy it. And it's just not, a you thing. It's got to be a lot of people thing. Okay, so we want to make stuff, do updates that are going to be appealing to other people for sure. And then finally, something else that impacts the price, it would be the view. So of course, water view, preserve view. As of late, it seems like the water and preserve views kind of are pretty similar in terms of price. Sometimes the water view gets a little bit more money, but sometimes people really, really like that private preserve view. And then of course, like I said, this community is banked by Bee Ridge and Lorraine. So if a house is closer to that or closer to that wall, maybe there's a little bit more road noise. Not that they're really super busy right now, but in time they could be. That's going to hit the price too. That will impact. So, as I always say, don't think, okay, great, here are the price ranges. I want to get this house that's, bigger and nicer and better view and on and on and on, but I only want to pay $900,000 for it. Well, that's going to be your $1 million house, your $1.1 million house, not at the low level. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So there we go. There's 3 things about the Hammocks right here in Sarasota. Now there's some other neighborhoods and communities in Sarasota and Manatee counties that include the word Hammocks. So don't be confused by which one's which. This is in the zip code 34240. And often people want to ask me about, oh, Jill, I just need to know about these little neighborhoods. You've got little neighborhoods everywhere. There's all these different neighborhoods. I don't know what's what and where to look and what to think about. So that's why I like to present just some of these different neighborhoods to give you some food for thought that's out there. Now, if the Hammocks isn't a good fit for you, that's okay. I'll have some videos on other neighborhoods, or feel free to call me because, of course, I'm familiar with a lot of these neighborhoods. And, maybe offhand I can share with you or with some quick searching, give you some other ideas of some properties that might be a good fit for you. So I'm here to help you out. As always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Have a great day.